Hello, and welcome back to Objectified. Today, we are diving into a subject that is perhaps one of the most controversial and curious movements in the history of medicine: homeopathy. It is a system that has inspired fervent belief and equally fervent skepticism for over 2 centuries. Before we begin, I must emphasize that this video is about the history and cultural significance of homeopathy, not a medical endorsement or debate. We are exploring the object of homeopathy itself, how it came to be, and how it evolved. It is a fascinating story of an idea that took root in a world desperate for alternatives to the often brutal medical practices of the late 1700s. The year is 1796. The place is Germany. The medical landscape of the time was frankly terrifying. We are talking about practices like bloodletting, aggressive purging, and administering highly toxic substances like mercury. These treatments often did more harm than good, and doctors were not always viewed with great trust. Into this chaos steps a brilliant but disillusioned physician and chemist named Dr. Samuel Hahnemann. He was a translator and a meticulous researcher, and he became utterly disgusted with the ineffective and dangerous state of conventional medicine. He quit practicing altogether and began working primarily as a medical text translator. While translating a Materia Medica by a Scottish physician, Dr. Cullen, Hahnemann noticed a reference to Peruvian bark, or cinchona, the source of quinine. Cullen claimed it worked for malaria because it was bitter. Hahnemann was not convinced. He decided to experiment on himself, taking large doses of cinchona bark. What he found was that the bark produced symptoms in him that were remarkably similar to those of malaria: fever, chills, and heart palpitations. This was his eureka moment, the kernel of an idea that would become the foundation of homeopathy. He formalized this observation into his first principle: similia similibus curantur, or let likes be cured by likes. This is the core concept of using a substance that causes symptoms in a healthy person to treat similar symptoms in a sick person. But there was a problem. Many of the substances Hahnemann wanted to use were highly toxic in their raw form. So, he developed his second revolutionary, and perhaps most perplexing, principle: the law of minimum dose, or what we now call potentization. He began a process of serial dilution and succussion, which is vigorous shaking. He would take a substance, dilute it with alcohol or distilled water, and shake it. He would then take one part of that new mixture and dilute it again, repeating this process many times. The result was remedies that were so diluted they often contained mathematically 0 molecules of the original substance. For example, a common homeopathic dilution is $30, text $, which represents $30 centesimal dilutions. That is a $1 and $10, $60 dilution. This extreme dilution is what separates homeopathy from other forms of herbal or natural medicine and is the primary target of scientific criticism. In the early 1800s, Hahnemann began to publish his findings and his system, most notably in his 1810 work, The Organon of the Healing Art. This book laid out the complete doctrine, introducing concepts like the vital force and the idea that all chronic diseases stemmed from underlying predispositions, which he called miasms. The system was elegant, gentle, compared to being bled or dosed with mercury. This was a profoundly attractive alternative. During these outbreaks, traditional medical treatments often had terrible mortality rates. Homeopathic hospitals, which essentially relied on the body's natural healing process by avoiding harmful intervention, often reported lower mortality rates simply because their treatments did not actively poison the patients. This seemingly better outcome cemented the public perception of homeopathy as a valid and even superior form of medicine. It became the darling of the American elite. Figures like John D. Rockefeller, Mark Twain, and Louisa May Alcott were all enthusiasts or patrons of homeopathy. Homeopathic hospitals and medical schools flourished in the United States, peaking around the turn of the 20th century. There were dozens of homeopathic hospitals, hundreds of pharmacies, and a truly significant number of practicing homeopathic physicians. It was a fully integrated part of the American medical landscape. However, the tide began to turn with advances in germ theory, sanitation, and the development of effective evidence-based medicines. As medical science moved into the modern era, the principles of extreme dilution and the vital force seemed increasingly antiquated. A pivotal moment was the 1910 Flexner Report in the United States, which sought to standardize medical education. Most homeopathic colleges, which taught a unique curriculum that included little of the new biological and chemical sciences, failed to meet the new, rigorous standards and closed down. This event, combined with the rise of the pharmaceutical industry and a stronger, unified American Medical Association, marginalized homeopathy in the United States significantly. Despite this decline in the West, homeopathy remains incredibly popular in other parts of the world, particularly in India. It was introduced there in the 19th century and took root deeply, largely because of its inexpensive nature and its resonance with traditional Indian holistic beliefs. Today, the government of India recognizes it as one of its national systems of medicine. It continues to thrive as an alternative option, deeply embedded in the cultural fabric. Here are a few fascinating, quirky facts you might not know. A homeopathic remedy was once officially sent into space. In 1998, a remedy was carried on the Space Shuttle Discovery. Also, the founder, Hahnemann, was quite the character. He was a highly vocal critic of allopathy and was forced to move multiple times due to conflicts with local apothecaries who felt threatened by his methods. Furthermore, the practice of selling homeopathic remedies is protected in many countries, not because of demonstrated efficacy, but because of long-standing cultural acceptance and legal definitions classifying them as unique products. So, what is the object of homeopathy today? It is a historical artifact, a global subculture, and a powerful symbol of the human desire for gentle, personalized healing. It is a system that reminds us that the history of medicine is not a straight line, but a winding path filled with ideas that both helped and hindered. It is a testament to the placebo effect, the power of ritual, and the profound need for patient comfort and care that was often neglected by conventional medicine 2 centuries ago. The power of the object, in this case, is not in the substance, but in the belief and the history it carries. If you found this exploration into the bizarre and influential history of homeopathy compelling, please make sure to give this video a like. Tell us in the comments what you think is the most surprising fact about this system of medicine. And, of course, subscribe to Objectified for more deep dives into the history of the world as most interesting objects and ideas. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video.